You try cranking up the AI difficulty and see what happens. Maybe. Because these guys seem pretty chill. Okay, don't. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for some more Escape From Tarkov. In my last video, I showed you guys how I found and killed the goons on Lighthouse. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys some tips on how you can potentially find them, and also some tips on how you can kill them more efficiently and how to position yourself in the right way to get the best possible chance to get the quest complete and eliminate the rogues. So first, let's talk about finding them. There is a website called Goon Tracker, and some streamers have a Goon Tracker bot in their channel. I currently don't, so just go to the website or someone else's channel. It will tell you the location where the goons were last spotted. Although this is highly disputed, I used this Goon Tracker for the first time and I found the rogues immediately on Woods, but I was killed. It was only 2 sessions later where I was playing on Shoreline looking for the goons when a community member told me that OnePeg was fighting the goons on Lighthouse with his scav. I queued into Lighthouse twice, ran into the goons, and I killed them. It is entirely possible that the goons work like every other scav boss, as the wiki suggests. It's also entirely possible that they do rotate, as the developers and some other streamers suggest. I believe they rotate maps simply because of the number of raids that I've personally played without actually seeing them, and the confirmation bias of going off of that information and finding them relatively quickly in 2 separate sessions. Although it was not 100% every time, I was using the tracker and not finding the goons based off of their spawn chance for the map itself. If you have 5 to 8 hours to play in a single session, it just might be wise to play one map, keep queuing in constantly and checking their spawn location with a grenade. But if you don't have that much time, I do think it's wise to just use the Goon Tracker, because if it doesn't work, you're still getting the probability of them spawning, and if it does work, you might find them faster like I did. Now it's time to talk about some tips on how you can actually kill them. The first thing is grenades. They are essential for identifying if the goons are on the map and pushing them into positions that allow you to successfully kill them, either by getting in a defensive position and allowing them to push towards you, or to push them out of their defensive position and you can peek them and shoot them. You need grenades. And in my clip, hilarious enough, I didn't have any, but I ended up looting some, which enabled me to get the final 2 kills. Now for weapon setups, the goons actually don't wear ballistic helmets. Knight's Death Knight mask is a class 1 face shield. That is it. So you can practically use any SMG, any rifle, but I recommend fast rate of fire and the lowest recoil that you possibly can. The goons are very much like old Killa, which means you can stun lock them with high rate of fire weapons when you're applying damage. This is critical to prevent them from instantly killing you, especially when they're pushing out of a position. In my case, I used an MP7. I practiced using an RD704 with just PS ammunition in the magazines just to see how well it would do. If you're going for the headshots, which you should do, the ammunition doesn't really matter that much. If you're not the most accurate player, obviously using rounds like BP or armor-piercing rounds, any rounds that have over like 37 pen should get the job done, because they all run class 4 to class 5 body armor. Now obviously, wearing the highest class armor that you have available, like class 6, will enable you to stay in the fight longer if you make mistakes. Knight uses M62 ammunition, which rips through class 4 body armor and class 5 body armor. Hex grids, slicks are awesome if you have them, but using a class 5 body armor should be good enough to make one mistake here and there, unless you get immediately headshotted by Bird Eye. So the first location that I practiced on was Woods, and they are over near the USEC camps, at the scav bunker, and the scav containers near the bridge. Now, they usually spawn at one of those 2 camps, not really down at the bridge. If players are nearby, they will get pulled over to the village and explore the area. But if it's early in the raid, you should be able to go to the base of this scav bunker hill and throw a grenade over top. If you don't hear any English voice commands, then you can go up to the top of the bunker, throw another grenade over to the containers, and you should hear them if they are there. If they're there, get down into the bunker and wait for them to push you at the stairs. They don't actually go too deep into the bunker. They're only going to sit at the base of the stairs. So holding that right angle is important. And in my case, when fighting them there, Big Pipe got caught on some trajectory or something. I don't know what some box or something like that, which made it pretty easy for me to kill him while moving out of the bunker. Now on Shoreline, there's an old method that doesn't really work anymore by sitting in the bathroom of the weather station and allowing them to run into that building. They certainly can still run into that building, but there's a far easier way. You want to go to the base of the weather station at the rocks that face towards that double sniper power station hydro plant. And when you're down at the base of those rocks, you want to throw a grenade up and over the hill. You're going to hear the English voice comms, so you can keep throwing grenades, but they will push you in that location. They're going to come running up over the hill, and you can just get easy kills. For me, I just kept on throwing some grenades, and I was eventually able to pinpoint Bird Eye and kill him. Bird Eye will push you in this position, but although this is the easiest way to kill the rogues in my opinion, it does open you up to getting attacked from other players, so you have to keep that in mind. The next map is going to be Customs. For a lot of people, this is their favorite map to fight the rogues, but for me, I just couldn't get them to be aggressive enough. You want to approach the fortress from the front side towards skeletons, so not the back side towards the railway, because that's kind of where they spawn. When you're running into the fortress, you'll most likely hear some voice comms. You'll piss them off. If you don't, throw some grenades towards the railway or throw some grenades towards the drug lab, because that's where Big Pipe likes to hang out. The moment that you hear some running and some voice comms, you can hunker down in one of the rooms and hold a right peek or just sit in position, and they will run to you given enough time. I was able to kill them by being up on the second level and waiting for them to run up the stairs, but I don't think that's an ideal position. It's much better to just wait in the rooms for them to run in. There's an old strategy where sitting in the drug lab will allow them to push up the secondary stairs and open the door, but I believe that's been patched, and most people that hunt the goons prefer to go into the fortress now instead of the drug lab. And the final location is the Lighthouse. So they're going to be spawning at that big chalet, or they're going to be spawning at water treatment. For the chalet, I don't have a whole lot of experience getting into the chalet and getting them to push me. I actually was throwing grenades over the top of the chalet, and I got them to push this weird doorway on the road, which gave me a really easy way of killing them, but Bird Eye did eventually get me. So for the sake of this video, this location is my least experienced location of them all, but if you can get inside the building and you can get their attention, the method remains: throw grenades, hold position, allow them to push you. For the water treatment facility, they can be in building 3, which is closest to the mountain, or they can be in building 2, which is closest to the industrial. Now, in this particular moment, I did forget my grenades, but that was an actual fuck up. Like, I intended to bring M67s. So how I would normally approach this is throwing a grenade through building 3, listening for audio cues, continuing to move through that building, and then throw a grenade into the parking lot between building 2 and 3, listening for audio cues, slowly moving up towards building 2, throwing grenades, and seeing if I can actually hear anything or see anybody running around. The moment that you do, hold position safely if you can and allow them to push you. When they come around the corner or come into a door frame, that's when you kill them. You don't want to be standing out in the open. They will outkill you. You don't want to be holding a peek for too long unless you throw a grenade immediately. It's like throw a grenade and then do your peek. That's a really good way of doing it. If you don't have the grenade, I wouldn't hold peeks too much. So the biggest takeaway is, regardless of the maps, grenades are essential. You want to let them push you, and you want to sit in a defensive position where you can't get outflanked by a silent Bird Eye if you can. You want to be patient, and you want to use weapons with low recoil, high rate of fire, because they are susceptible to the Killa stun lock from the old game, although Killa doesn't operate like that anymore, but experienced players will know what I'm talking about. Basically, just shoot the shit out of them, and it will lock them up a little bit and fuck with their accuracy, making it less likely for them to kill you. These are my tips on how you can find and hunt the goons and fight them. There's going to be plenty of videos on YouTube. Definitely go and explore if you're struggling to kill these guys. It is a Kappa required mission, and one of my last Kappa required missions that I need to complete. So happy hunting. I hope you guys found this video fun and informative and interesting. If you did, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Share this around with your friends that are struggling to hunt the goons, and then also watch my live stream Monday through Friday starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.